Okie doke. It's been a while, but it's recording time again for me, and it's environmental sustainability. So finally, we're getting to the most fun topic, at least for me, certainly the one I know most about, or this one and the next one, environmental sustainability. And I'm going to start with a very brief little intro video. See if I can get my technique sorted out here. Yeah, the intro video. So basically, we've got three parts to the set of videos, three parts to the module. We're going to look at land, we're going to look at minerals, by which I mean like stuff we dig up or pump up out of the ground, and we're going to look at pollution. The original scarce resource was land. Availability of land has been limiting GDP growth for tens of thousands of years. Right? That's what we learned in the Malthus part with Pedro, right, at the start of the course. That for thousands of years, basically until the industrial period, almost all households, or the large majority of households across the whole of the earth, had just enough to survive, or a bit more, maybe double the minimum, somewhere in that interval. Why was that? Well, as soon as they got a bit better off, more of their kids survived, the population went up, and given the level of technology, that meant more people on the same area of land, they're struggling again. Okay. So clearly the original scarce resource was indeed land. But as technology progressed, we started extracting stuff from under the surface of the land. And initially, there wouldn't have been, well, I mean, it was scarce in the sense that if we go way back, people were like looking for gold and so on, right? And are making these amazing ornaments and so on out of gold and silver and whatever. So in a sense, they were scarce. They were dead hard to find for these people, I'm sure. But it wasn't exactly, given what we know now, there wasn't any risk of those people thousands of years ago like exhausting the global stocks of gold and silver and so on. Okay. But nevertheless, concerns about minerals running out have been around for a long time, as we saw earlier in the course, looking at Jevons, for instance, from 150 plus years ago. He was concerned that stocks of coal in the UK were going to be running out sort of any time, basically. And then an even more modern concern is pollution, right? These minerals, we dig this stuff up, and then a lot of it we burn like fossil fuels, or we sort of make stuff out of it, and often it ends up poisoning us or causing other damage. For instance, carbon dioxide, but also CFCs destroying the ozone layer, sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxides, etc., creating acid rain, particulates which we throw up into the atmosphere, we breathe them in, they cause all sorts of health problems, etc., etc. Okay, so those are the three topics, like land, and of course, land we're also going to link to biodiversity and what else lives on the land. Okay, so those are the three topics. One word of warning about this whole set of videos or the whole module. I've got a lot of references. Okay, we go here. Whoops, wrong place. Here we've got, I don't know how many, I think 16 references or something. It's a lot of references. Don't worry, hopefully you'll be inspired to look at some of the references, but it's not like you need to look at all the references. You certainly don't need to read all the references, like the whole paper. A lot of them are quite technical or even very technical, so you're clearly not going to read the whole papers. But hopefully you'll be inspired to have a look at lots of them. Which brings me on to another point, which is for your, I can't remember what we call it, but the sort of task connected to the module is there's a bunch of questions, and I'm going to set up a Google page, and there's 16 questions. You basically choose, I want everyone to choose one question, and then we'll go through it in class. And I want you, if you've chosen that question, we'll start off. I want you to give a bit of input on it, okay? And of course, if you choose a question but then don't show up in class, then I want you to submit something short written on it instead. Okay, so I think that will do for the intro.